Shalom, everybody. This is Betty Erica, aka Lady Smooth, daughter of the Most High, daughter of the Most High Ministries, your scribe. And today, this topic is how the Hebrews have food for the soul. How we obtain food for the soul. Hashtag soul food, okay? So, the reason why I'm doing this video is because my eating habits have been changing. And I believe it's just another sign of the times that we're in, and the Most High waking us up to who we are as a people, as the Hebrews, as the 12 tribes, and the different cultural things that we brought to this country and we started to eat. So I've been craving a lot of soul food lately, okay? And I said, Father, why am I craving so much soul food? Like, I am so used to eating other races and other nations' food when it comes to Indian food, Japanese, Greek, the kebab and all that stuff. What else I normally eat? Sushi. And lately I have not had any desire for those things, right? And so the Most High said, just pay attention because I want to show you something. And as he's been showing me things, okay, so I went to this sorry guys, I'm trying to get this off my phone. Okay, so I went to this soul food restaurant. I hope it goes away. Okay. Anyhow, so I went to this soul food restaurant and it's called Doolin's, okay? And it's in Los Angeles. They have about 3 locations, but the main one that I go to is on Crenshaw, okay? It's really good, delicious. I mean, just out of this world. And I usually like to go to soul food where Black people are cooking the soul food, because when you get other nations, okay, cooking the food, it may taste good, but something may be a little bit off. I know we have another one called Delicious, which is down the street. Is really good, delicious food, but sometimes certain things can be a little bit too watered down because certain people who are from their culture, they know how to make things their way, Okay, so let's get right into the topic, okay? I've done a video a long time ago. If you look at my video list on YouTube, about the obligation of meat, and it comes from Leviticus, okay? So when you look at fried chicken, okay, which was brought to this country from slaves, okay? I want to say this, okay? During the Atlantic slave trade, and as our ancestors were brought to this country, they brought their own traditions that they already knew to this country from Africa to here, okay? So things have gotten mixed up and remade and recreated. It's almost like a mutation or duplicated. I want to say it's like a duplication of what really used to go on in the motherland. And the reason why I'm saying this is because people would say, oh, well, why do Black people eat chitlins and things like that? First off, okay, not all Black people, because specifically the Hebrews were taught not to eat any pork or any hard shell or any scavengers of the sea. I know this because some of my family do and another part does not, because some families know instead of using pork to make collard greens, you can use turkey. You can use turkey necks. And that's one thing I like about Doolins. They don't use pork in their food. So somebody already know and keep the original tradition. Now, the reason why pork has got intertwined, because underneath the masses house, okay, when you were enslaved, you only got parts of the animal or the discarded pieces that they don't want. So if they were eating the pigs, they wouldn't take the intestines. That's what chitlins are. They would put the intestines to the side. But in order to ensure that the slaves were getting their nutrition, they would take that and make it into a dish, which was nutritional, which was nutritious enough for the family, just to have some nutrition for the family, because obviously the master and let's just say the white folks did not give a dang about the black Hebrews, okay? They didn't care how they were growing, long as they were doing the work, which is really dumb, because how can you have a healthy slave that's not, eating properly to do your work? Duh. But the women who already knew how to cook of the place, of the household, they made everything delicious because they knew how to do so, okay? And they knew how to bring all the cooking here. And if you look at it, yeah, everyone pretty much learned everything from the slaves when it comes to Americans, because it wasn't like white women were in the kitchen cooking. That didn't happen until now. So they pretty much learned everything, how to make fried chicken, how to make cornbread, how to make everything, okay? So let's look at it in the Bible. Let's find this in the Bible. Where is fried chicken in the Bible? And you guys know I have my seeper, okay? And you can find this in Leviticus, okay? Let's turn to Leviticus chapter 2, verse 7, okay? Leviticus chapter 2, verse 7, and it reads, "And if your offering be an obligation baked in the frying pan, it shall be made of fine flour with oil." That's fried chicken. What meat do you know that you make in a frying pan with fine flour and oil? Fried chicken. Okay? So who are the people of the book? Okay? And I know people's minds are like, wow, we never even really paid attention to this, because your pastors don't teach you this stuff. They rush through. You start thinking this is way back in the day. And no. The Bible is everything, every word. The Bible is a living word. So if it's a living word, it never dies. Whatever we used to do, we're still doing. Whatever was yesterday, today, and tomorrow, it still goes on, okay? So that's one thing okay? So when we were making offerings to the Most High before Christ died on the cross as our sacrificial lamb, everything we ate, and that's one reason why we bless our food today before we eat. While we pray over our food is because we used to bless that animal before we slaughtered it in front of the Most High, okay? And put it on the fire, slaughter it, put it on the fire, and let the aroma go up to heaven, okay? Just so you guys should know this. You guys need to know this if you don't know this, okay? The aroma of the animal will be a sweet offering to the Most High, because there's nothing else we can give the Most High. He has everything, right? So that He would love to smell our cooking, okay? It's just like when you come in, your husband come in from work and you're making some fried chicken. I love fried chicken. I love to make fried chicken. Okay, so yeah. When he's smelling that good fried chicken, he's like, baby, oh, that smells so good. What are you making? You know, that's how the Most High was like, that smells so good. It's just a sweet savory to me because he has everything. It's not too much things we can offer the Most High. We can't give him any materialistic gifts. So that was his way of accepting our sin offering or whatever offering we were giving him. Also incense. That's one reason why the Most High loved incense. A certain type of incense that we would use to let praise the Most High and let him smell those incense, this sweet fragrance, okay? This is not going to be a long video. I have another one to do, which is very important because we're getting so close to the end, okay? And the Most High wants us to wake up and put on our not only physical eyes, but our spiritual eyes and our prophetic eyes, okay? And discernment, okay? In these times. So, yeah, I need to explain. The next video I'm going to do is about us Black folks and how we're misunderstood. The next thing I want to show is pancakes. The Most High showed me pancakes. Okay. Pancakes is originally from the Hebrews. Sorry guys, it's a little hot. So I'll tell you guys how pancakes came about. In the Bible, they're called either hot cakes. Some people call them out here whole cakes, sweet cakes. Okay, so let's look at 2 Samuel chapter 13. Okay, I've written that down, but let me go to it in my Sefer here. Also, just wanted to let you guys know the Sefer is equivalent to the King James. Okay, the only difference you'll see is some of the Hebrew words in the Hebrew language, but everything else is the same. And also, the only other thing you will see is that we have more scriptures that have been taken out. So it's not only the 66 books that we know of, but there's far more books and teachings for the lost book of the Bible, which is lost scrolls. That's what Sefer is called, the scrolls. Okay, just so you know, scrolls. Okay, sorry guys if I'm looking kind of pooched here. 2 Samuel Wait, what? 2 Samuel 13. Let's see. I'll read that down. Let's see what verse it would be. Okay. Okay, so this is when King David's son Amnon tricked Tamar, which is King David's daughter. And he was so sick because he wanted her to make these cakes for him. I don't really want to go into the whole story because I can't stand it, first off. I really don't like this story. It makes me upset. But I do want to point out the fact that she made pancakes for him, okay? Just so you know where pancakes came from. Okay, so I'm going to read 2 Samuel chapter 13, verse 6. So Ammon lay down and made himself sick, and when the king was come to see him, Ammon said unto the king, I pray you let Tamar my sister come and make me a couple of cakes in my sight, that I may eat at her hand. Then David sent home to Tamar, saying, Go now to your brother Ammon's house and dress him meat. So Tamar went to her brother's house, and he was laid down, and she took flour and kneaded it and made cakes in his sight, and did bake the cakes. And she took a pan and floured them out before him. But he refused to eat, and Alma said, have out all men for me, whatever. Okay. Now that's where it gets kind of crazy. However, she took flour and she made pancakes for him, okay? Just so you guys know where that came from, okay? So that's one part of it, but let's see. Of course, it's not too hard to fall for a woman that can cook, right? Even though she was his sister. Oh, then he hated her after that because, first of all, it was wrong. It was absolutely wrong. Okay, so this is all in 2 Samuel. If you want to read the whole story, read it for yourself. Yeah, I just wanted to point out that those were pancakes. Yeah, they were absolutely pancakes. And we call them today either pancakes. Some people call them hot cakes. Some people call them hoe cakes. Okay, so that's where that came from. And the slaves, like Ancient Mama, for example, brought pancakes to the master that she had, which was the white lady she had, and the white lady made a business. So everything we brought here to America, they were able to capitalize and make a business out of it. Of course, we had no power. So people often are confused as to how the black people are Hebrews when we grew up watching all of these movies with white faces. First of all, back in those days, black folks had no power. They had no production companies. They were not able to show you any examples of them being the Hebrews because they had not the power. So of course they're going to make everyone white and the Egyptians white and so on and so forth. And this is not, please don't come on this channel thinking it's discriminative and I'm dividing and all. This is truth, okay? This is absolute truth. And you would know because no one besides people of color have been enslaved, okay? Back then, we didn't have enough power. Our ancestors had no power, so they had to be the ones that were made fun of, the blackface, you know, the ancient mamas and things like that, and so on, and the nannies and all of that stuff. It wasn't like we had the power to create the true Christ, the true tribes with a paintbrush, with a simple painting, okay, and paintbrush. Now, if you want to know where those true artifacts are, just look at the Russian artifacts. It's there. I have a couple here. You know, I printed them out myself. Christ, I have a picture right here that I show you guys all the time. Just look at the Russian artifacts, and every place has these artifacts underneath or locked up somewhere. So whether if it be America, Australia, wherever it is, Russia, wherever, there is the truth hiding somewhere, okay? So that's it for this video. I just wanted to point out certain things we overlook in the Bible and food for the soul. And so with that being said, shalom, and we pray Psalms 91 on this channel. Bye-bye for now.